Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
All right, we begin with forewarned weather, rain and high winds moving into Metro Detroit to start the weekend.
We've been calling it a roller coaster, and boy, that's what it is, and it's far from over right now.
Let's get over to Brian Sherman. He's in for Kim tonight. Hi, Brian.
Hey there, Kimberly and Jason. Good Friday evening, everyone. Another day, another wind advisory on the way. The National Weather Service putting out a wind advisory for all of southeastern Michigan from 1 o'clock tomorrow morning until 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, as we could see another round of wind gusts upwards of 45 to 50 miles an hour, especially mid to late tomorrow morning. Temperatures at 5 o'clock tonight with plenty of cloud cover in the 40s for just about everyone, but sustained winds already picking up anywhere from 10 to upwards of 15, even closing in on 20 miles an hour. And I'm expecting those winds to only get stronger as we go throughout the evening hours tonight, with some light rain showers moving in as that cold front presses on in tonight and into early tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about the wind gusts, the rain that's on the way, and falling temperatures tomorrow. Your full forewarned forecast coming up in just a few minutes. With rain on the way, download that forewarned weather app. You'll get future track radar right at your fingertips. It's downloadable, easy. Go to your favorite app store and search WDIV.
We're watching some breaking news from Detroit's west side, where 5 people have been rushed to the hospital after a violent crash involving 2 pickup trucks. This is the scene near Paul Avenue and Piedmont Street, north of Ford Road, and it's actually west of the Southfield Freeway, but you can see how bad this is. The trucks crashing and then into a power pole, causing the power lines to come down. Detroit Fire, Detroit Police, and DTE all responding to the scene. Right now, it's not clear what caused the crash to begin with, but police are not releasing any information on injuries or that cause just yet. Our other top story here at 5, the Detroit Board of Commissioners has voted to deny the suspension of a sergeant in connection to the fatal shooting of a woman on Detroit's west side last month.
The sergeant was in charge of the officers who shot and killed Keziah Miller at a home on Myers. The chief called for the suspension, but the board voted against it. Rod Maloney spoke to the chief late this afternoon. Rod joins us live now. Rod, I have to imagine he's not happy about this.
Well, if he is, he didn't say so. He shrugged it off, said it's part of the process, but he also noted he does have other disciplinary options. But it was the Detroit Police Commission that met here yesterday behind closed doors for a very long time to make this decision. It happened here again yesterday. October 14th on Myers Street, DPD responds to a frantic 911 call from a mother concerned about her daughter's mental health issues.
Y'all came with guns drawn.
Keziah Miller ran her Facebook Live, and it showed an officer putting his rifle on the ground, and that's when the other officers moved in.
All y'all.
Miller did not survive that altercation. Concerned about how quickly officers made their move, Chief James White wanted to suspend the sergeant.
I got a very high standard for supervisors. Their responsibilities are very different than those of a police officer, and that's why I made the recommendation. And you know, the board reacted the way that they did.
Detroit Police Commissioner Ricardo Moore spoke with Local 4 today about his no vote on suspending the sergeant.
The chief is a great guy. He cares about the citizens. He cares about his police department. He does. And I kind of understand in the spirit of why he wanted to put this out the way it is. I just think maybe it was done a little bit too soon.
The unnamed sergeant's union representative, Mark Young, attended yesterday's hearing as well.
This young sergeant is one of the most awesome people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, and he's devastated by that whole situation. It's not just, we never look at the law enforcement as being victims too.
Now, Commissioner Moore told me that there are broader policy issues here at play that he's concerned about, which is what swayed him to make his decision to go against the chief's discipline, but he wouldn't get specific about that. But everybody we spoke to today said that mental health issues are a major problem and that the police department is doing the best they can to solve them, but they need some help. Reporting live downtown, Rod Maloney.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a while, too. Okay, Rod, we appreciate it. And more news tonight. The Democrats shaking up the presidential nominating calendar, and Iowa would no longer be the first state.
South Carolina would actually lead off the primaries, followed by New Hampshire, Nevada, and then Georgia batting cleanup, with Michigan following. Backers say this lineup better reflects the diversity in the party. The move would still need to be approved by the full DNC in a vote likely next year. Michigan's legislature also needs to approve that.
Also here at 5, a 17-year-old from Downriver is facing charges for bringing a gun to school in his backpack.
Police telling us this happened yesterday at Ecorse High School on West Outer Drive, not far from West Jefferson. Let's bring in Megan Woods with more on the student who actually saw it and immediately went and reported it. Megan.
Yeah, that's right. The school district, they did not want to comment, but they did put a letter out on Facebook to families explaining what happened, but also explaining what students should do if they see anything like this, anything suspicious like this ever again. Now, we talked to parents and people who live nearby, some off camera, and they all say the same thing. They're happy that tragedy was avoided, but they still have so many concerns and questions.
One, where did they get the gun from? It wasn't locked up at home where it should have been. And then why bring it to school? And how did it get into school?
After Ecorse Public Schools posted this letter from Superintendent Dr. Joshua L. Tailson on Facebook yesterday, parents and people in the community still have questions. The letter explains the gun was in a student's backpack. Another student reported it.
That is wonderful that that student wasn't afraid to come forward and do the right thing. And hopefully the student that did the telling get some kind of praise for it.
From there, Ecorse police were called. The gun and the student who allegedly brought it were taken off school property. That 17-year-old is now facing 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon and 1 count of possession of a weapon in a weapons-free school zone with a $4,000 10% bond. The school district says they have security screenings daily, but are reviewing that procedure. Some say all the responsibility of what happened here doesn't just fall on the school.
Their parents should be checking their backpacks or something before they go to school, you know, doing something.
And when it comes to security measures inside the school, we spoke to a parent who says there are metal detectors, but not at every entrance, and that staff do check backpacks, but not as thoroughly as they would have hoped. So again, the school district is reviewing the procedure when it comes to security to make sure that students are, safe and make sure they're taken care of while inside. Live in Ecorse, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Yeah, but still very important not to be overlooked. We know what can happen when these things do not get checked. All right, Megan, thanks. 5 Michigan State football players in court today to be arraigned on charges connected to the brawl in the tunnel.
Itavian Brown, Angelo Gross, Justin White, Brandon Wright, and Zion Young were all given personal recognizance bonds. All of them were ordered to have no contact with anyone connected to the University of Michigan.
Yeah, Bernie's here with us now to talk, not the Spartans, but the Wolverines.
That's
they
right.
got some high hopes here.
Yeah, and it hasn't been the easiest of weeks because, especially losing Blake Corum.
Yeah, well, this time of year, injuries are always going to make it difficult. And any off-the-field issues like Mozzie Smith also will make it difficult. But Michigan still favored by 16.5 over Purdue in the Big Ten title game tomorrow in Indianapolis. 8 o'clock start. We've got highlights of Corum. Tested his knee against Ohio State, but watched from the sidelines after running the ball just twice. He's going to have knee surgery, will not play, but Donovan Edwards is good to go, and he will fill that slot. As you know, if Michigan wins, they are in the college football playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. And the one thing Michigan does well is travel well. They're supporters, and they're well represented. Stand by live in Indy with more on Michigan support. Hobie Artigue is here. Good afternoon, Hobie.
Good afternoon, Bernie. Yes, with the way things are looking here, a lot of maize and blue. You'd swear that this is Ann Arbor South. We are waiting on the team to arrive here at the team hotel. They'll be here in about an hour or so, but fans, they're already piling the streets of Indianapolis as they anticipate yet a 2nd straight Big Ten title. It's beginning to look a lot like championship week in downtown Indianapolis.
You can wear this hat anywhere in the world and around this country, and you're going to find another Michigan fan.
And Michigan fans are ready to go for a 2nd straight Big Ten title this weekend.
I think we got a better team this year than we did last year.
Games of this magnitude are always a little more meaningful.
Michigan's here. That's what, we beat Ohio State. That's all that matters. That's why we're here, right? So we want the Big Ten championship for 2 years in a row now.
Bringing in Wolverines from Michigan and also across the country.
We've been watching all the games in Dallas with lots of other Michigan fans there, too.
I've savored every moment of it. because I'm old enough to know you never know when we're going to have another year like this.
At 12-0, this is already a dream season heading into the Big Ten Championship.
You know, I think it's going to be a close game. I think we're only going to win by about 30.
With the hope of it being the start of an even bigger journey ahead.
I think they're going to go all the way. I really think they're capable of doing it.
I saw J.J. McCarthy at an event last June in Traverse City, and I said, J.J., are we going to win the Big Ten again this year? And he looked at me with disgust and he goes, Natty. They didn't, inside that locker room, they've been very clear about their goals.
Of course, high hopes by Michigan fans. Purdue, they are already here. We saw the team arrive. Their campus, it's only an hour and 15 minutes away from downtown Indianapolis. But coming up at 6, we'll introduce you to a place that is the epicenter of Michigan fandom here in downtown Indianapolis. This year and the year before that, quite the scene, especially with so much maize and blue in the place. We'll take you there coming up at 6. For now, we're live in downtown Indianapolis. Hobie Artigue, Local 4.
All right, Hobie. I wonder where the team's staying.
I have no idea.
Could it be starts with an M, Hobie?
I think it's the Marriott, maybe?
Marriott? Is it a Marriott? They got enough free pub. Thanks. See you.